All right, that's my bad. Hello, race fans. Welcome back to the F1 2020 My Team Career Mode. Today, we've got the third race of the season, the Vietnam Grand Prix. Now, this is a new track just added to the F1 schedule for this year. I don't have a whole lot of laps around this racetrack, so I'm going to be a bit behind, but hopefully I can pick it up quick enough that we can have a good run, back up our strong run from Bahrain. If you missed it in the last episode, highly recommend you go back and watch it, get caught up, and then come back and watch this one. So we'll see if we can build on a strong performance where we got our first points on the season, a surprise run, and a huge turnaround from the season opener in Australia. Before we get to the race weekend, we got a lot of time that we need to fill, make some business decisions on how to spend our time and our money. You see, we've got a couple of days here between where we are and where the Grand Prix is on the 2nd of April, and we got a whole lot of things listed there. So first and foremost, let's take a look at the activities that I decided to fill our time with. They're both sponsor related. They're going to net us team acclaim and a little bit of cash as well. So we got a sponsor event, an in-depth factory tour that takes up 5 days, and then we got a 4-day event for a sponsor advertisement with the vehicle that nets us team acclaim and some cash. So pretty good activities there. It's going to help the team out a whole lot, make us more attractive to sponsors, and that's always good for everybody. And we made our first upgrade of this playthrough to our facilities. I decided to put $2 million into upgrading the build time for our chassis department. So it costs $2 million, but it says improve build time of all upgrades by 20%. So hopefully we'll be able to start cranking out upgrades from the chassis department a little bit quicker. So if they fail, that means that we'll be able to get good parts on more quickly, and that's always a good thing as well. Plus, we still have $1 million in the bank. But yeah, our first big investment into the team goes to the chassis department. We had some resource points available after Bahrain, so I decided to make our first upgrade in the power department, the powertrain, here in the R&D tree. So we move forward with developing a new ignition system. I don't think it's going to be ready for Vietnam, but it might be ready after that. I think for China is the next race after that. So we'll see. We'll get it going. We've got upgrades flowing out of all the other departments. Time to put the powertrain department to work as well. Finally, let's get you a points update. Lewis Hamilton has the most points so far. Leclerc, Bottas, Vettel, Albon, the top 5. Bottas, Vettel tied for 3rd. We're down there in 10th. We got 4 points, and in the constructors standings, we are 6th overall. 4 teams still have not scored a point, but we're within shouting distance of Racing Point. That much is for sure. So perhaps we're going to be battling with those guys for 5th or so this year. Still a long way to go, but encouraging to get points already this season. All right, so we just moved forward in time a little bit, got all of our activities and stuff. It looks like all the upgrades that we had in queue for aero and chassis went through without a hitch, so we got all those successfully completed. So let's take a look at the performance chart here, and you can see Williams down at the bottom. Haas had a really good upgrade path. They actually almost caught up to us. They're just like a dot or two underneath of us, and that's a pretty big gap up to the other teams. But you know, it's encouraging to see we're making progress. Not as big of a jump forward as some of the other teams, but looks like Red Bull had a huge jump from the start of the season up to where they are now. They've really made big gains. The mid-pack is really tight from McLaren, Racing Point, and Renault. And it looks like AlphaTauri and Alfa Romeo are pretty much right on top of each other. So interesting. Looks like Ferrari's the 3rd best car on the grid. Might be actually fairly realistic. We'll see what happens this week with the Styrian Grand Prix. See if Red Bull outperforms them. But there you go. Mercedes is the best, obviously. But yeah, we're not the worst, so I guess that's positive. All right, now that all the administrative stuff is out of the way, we've got some upgrades on the car. Let's take it to Vietnam and see if we can go back-to-back in scoring points in our first season as a race team.
The Formula One circus has arrived in Southeast Asia once more as we usher in a new era and get ready to go racing here in Vietnam. A lap of Hanoi Circuit then, 3.4 miles around the Vietnamese capital. A number of the 23 corners take their inspiration from other great circuits, hopefully creating plenty of passing opportunities. Anthony Davidson is with me once again to take you through today's action, and we have plenty of twists and turns to come over the next hour or so, I'm sure.
Obviously, Max Verstappen is feeling pretty good about his chances here, and I have to agree with him on that. It's a clean run down into turn 1, and the car is completely underneath him. Honestly, I think he's going to be difficult to stop today. And let's see who's able to keep their tyres in that temperature sweet spot early on. You've got a great tyre warmer underneath your right foot, and the drivers need to make the most of that on the formation lap, lest they see themselves skating wide at turn 1 on cold rubber.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position. And it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Albon, Carlos Sainz, and Ricciardo, Norris, Stroll, Ocon, and Sergio Perez, Bottas, Hamilton, Daniel Kvyat, and Gasly, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Kevin Magnussen, and Davidson, Correa, Grosjean, Russell, and Nicholas Latifi. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
All right, here we are on the grid at the Vietnam Grand Prix. As you saw there in the rundown of qualifying, not a very good effort, not a good result for us. We're going to be pretty far in the back, but not last, so that's a plus. The big shocker was Mercedes. Both the Mercedes drivers way, way back mid-pack, like the 5th or 6th row. That's pretty big news for them considering, well, Hamilton was the points leader coming into today. So not sure what went wrong at Mercedes in qualifying, but they were both not up to the usual standard. Let's take a look at the race strategy for today. Looks like we got two-stop or a two-stop. What the hell? Softs, and mediums, or softs and hards? One lap longer on softs and then go to mediums, or one less lap and go to hards? I'd rather go to mediums, to be honest. And it looks to be about a 4.5 second difference. So it's a strange couple of strategies to give us, but that's what we got, and that's what we're going to go with. The two-stop strategy, 8 laps, 9 laps, and then 11 laps to the end on mediums. All right, here we go. We are away from Vietnam. A good run down to turn 1 here. We'll take advantage of it. They're going to leave the door open. A little bit of contact there with the Mercedes. Got to get aggressive here. Got to get aggressive. All right. Hit the ARS and we are away. Got Bottas on our tail. He's probably going to swallow us up here. Yep. Not so fast. We're going to fight him back into the chicane. A lot of problems here. Yellow flag is out behind us. A lot of contact with people.
All right, we're looking good so far.
And we got a safety car.
The safety car is out. Keep it on the Delta.
Well, that was a messy start. I can't even imagine what happened behind us. Like everybody was diving into that chicane, and it got ugly. And we have our first safety car of the year. We find ourselves up in the 12th position, so, you know, it was a good aggressive start for us. We got a lot of spots there. Did what we needed to do. That's going to put us under a safety car on lap 1. Take a look at the car condition. I don't see any damage on us. We made a little contact on that opening lap. We made some contact with people. It looks like Bottas is the one who went to the pits, so I'm not sure what happened really to lead out the safety car, but probably Bottas got absolutely murked. A lot of things went wrong right in this chicane, but I think we're okay. I'll take the opportunity while we're under the safety car to save some fuel. Now, for those of you who have a keen eye for detail, you might notice something different. What's between my hands? Yes, it is a different rim. It became very evident to me that I was struggling to do an F1 car with a oval rim and NASCAR rim. So I purchased the Thrustmaster F1 rim. And I'm getting used to it, but I really, really like it so far. Very, very nice. Feels good. Has all the buttons on it. I can map a whole bunch of stuff. More buttons than the other rim did. One that's behind me there. So, nice new little piece of kit right here. Makes me feel more like a Formula One driver. But, yeah, that's pretty cool. I like it. All right, getting ready to go back racing here. Get a good jump here on these guys.
We've got a lot of spare energy. Use your overtake button.
All right, now that we're back underway, we're gonna be under assault from Lewis Hamilton here. Hamilton to the outside.
Fuel target is +1. Faster engine modes are available.
Now, I will say about this track is very challenging. Very challenging track. Brand new track, and it is tough. Very demanding, a lot of high speed back and forth, change of directions, and then you have this long straightaway. Very long straightaway. We're going to get gobbled up here by Giovinazzi, it looks like. He's going to have us down to the braking zone. I can have a go at him
Try
here
to
in the
stay with him.
inside.
You might make a mistake. You could still regain the position.
Try and get the job back done on him here. Looks like we got him cleared for the time being. No. All right, we'll get the pass done there. Now, the really tough part, these S's. Very tough. Got to have a really planted car to make these turns at a high rate of speed. And our car struggles a little bit. It has a lot of understeer in it. There goes Giovinazzi, going to blast past us. Using his ERS, and they have the draft as well, so. Our car's struggling. This isn't a great racetrack for a car like this, I would say. It's not very well planted, at least not yet, but with a new team, a new car, tracks like this are definitely going to be a struggle. Man, even with ERS, DRS, and rich mixture on the engine, I still could not get up to it. That's not a good sign. That's why we're putting upgrades into the engine. Giovinazzi locks up a little bit there. We give him a little boop. A lot of oversteer out of the corners there. If you hit these curbs wrong, it'll really upset the car. This track has curbs that are really, you want to stay off of them. You don't want to touch them a whole bunch.
Box. We're coming in this lap.
All right, pitting this lap. Let's see if we can get around Giovinazzi here. Oh, we take him. That's how we do it.
Okay, some information on Perez. They have an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
Oh. Something wrong with Sergio Perez. That was a nice pass on Giovinazzi. We made it work around the outside. That's all he gave us to work with was the outside, so I took it. He's going to come flying back here. We hold it around the outside. It was a good spirited attempt by him right there, but we held it around the outside. Honestly, I had no idea what pit road was like here. I hadn't tried it before, so a little tentative getting onto pit road, but that's okay. That's all right. This will be our first stop. Remember, 2-stop strategy. Go from softs back onto softs here. See where we cycle out. But it's been a good start to the race. Had a good battle with Giovinazzi here, and see what the boys can do on the pit stop. Here we go. 2.3, yikes.
You'll be racing as you leave the pits. Go.
That's
Go
not
now.
very good. Kind of on the slower side.
We'll be doing one more stop today. One stop left in our strategy.
That puts us down in 21st. Balance the fuel mixture here. I've been running rich because of all the fuel that we saved during the safety car. Burn a little bit up here on these longer straightaways. Oh,
The car behind you is just
That was
fitted
close.
the hard tyres. Car behind, running
Latifi's so
hards.
slow. All right, that's my bad. Overshot the entry
A
really,
new
really
strategy
badly.
is available on the MFD.
Really overshot the entry there. Ran right into him. Now we got a damaged front wing. Right after this cycle of pit stops, too. That is not good. That is not good right there. Well, that is unfortunate right there. Latifi was slow. I knew he was slow, and I should have been more patient behind him. Well, that was not very good. I don't know how we're going to recover from this one, but we'll have to change the nose on the next pit stop. We got so many different strategies going on right now, too. I don't know if I was just on the wrong strategy or what. I don't know. I see people on hards. I see people on softs. I see people on mediums. Well, we're back into 14th, so I don't know. Might have been a great strategy if I had not damaged the wing. We might have been in good shape. But we're definitely going to have to take the time to replace that front nose on the next pit stop when we switch over to mediums. Which is a shame. I mean, I don't think we were going to get points today. This track is just... It exposes everything that makes our car bad. It exposes it so badly. But, you know, I think we were on pace with Haas, on pace with a couple other teams. Hard to say now with this,
Gap to car in front is 3.5 seconds.
you know, who we were fast with, but we're going to have races like that where we just are not, our car does not suit a track. And I think this track has been tough on everybody who's doing a My Team mode. From what I've seen of the people I watch, this track was very hard on them. We got Magnussen and Bottas behind us. Whoa! Hello! Got a whole train of cars here. Bottas really threw it up the inside there. Holy shit, where did you come from? Yeah, you can just chill, dude. Like, I knew I made a dive bomb on Latifi, but Jesus Christ, that was a dive bomb from Bottas. They'll get the job done now.
Okay, some information on Bottas. They seem to have an issue.
What? He just passed me. What issue does he have? Seems to have an issue, but he just passed me. Well, whatever his issue is, it's not that big of a deal, I guess. Jeez.
They're on old softs. Pit window will open in 3 laps' time. Pit window opens in 3 laps. 15 laps still remaining.
We're battling here with Grosjean. I just can't do anything with these guys. They're faster down the straightaways. Faster through the corners. That wing damage is just killing us. Oh. Well, now we got a lot more. This thing's killed.
Right, come in at the end of this lap.
Well, that wasn't very good. I knew that wing damage was going to bite me in the ass eventually. It just doesn't turn left very well, so. Oh, bad race goes to worse here. Damn. It's going to be a tough one here. Oh, boy. That's Formula One racing for you, man. From the highest of highs to getting points at Bahrain to the lowest of lows here at Vietnam. Good Lord. I knew this race was going to be tough. I knew it was going to be a struggle, but
Go, go, go.
yeah, it hurts. Now we are dead plumb last. Probably where we're going to finish. I can't believe that didn't end our race when we hit that wall. That was such a hard hit. I thought it was going to pop the right front off for sure. Now we got to go longer on these mediums than we intended. Also not ideal. Now the real question is there anybody in front of us who still has to make a second pit stop? People who are, I mean, I guess everyone's got to make a second pit stop. I don't think anyone could one-stop this thing. We lost a lot of time having to change out that nose. This thing still don't drive too good right now, I'll tell you that. Still has a lot of understeer coming out of the corners. Oh, shit.
that front wing. It'll need replacing if it takes too much damage. Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
So Sergio Perez is out of the race. I just smacked the wall again. Oh my God, what a disaster.
Battery charge is high. Let's use that overtake button more.
Oh my God. This thing is very challenging to drive all of a sudden. Well, not all of a sudden. It's been challenging to drive the whole race, but it's even worse now. But at least we're not going to finish last. Well, this is a very, very challenging race right here. I'll tell you, this was, oh boy, not what I was hoping for. Obviously, not a great showing here at Vietnam.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
I didn't really know what to expect coming into this race. I didn't think we were going to be great. All right, I didn't think we were going to be fantastic, but we seemed to be good enough to run around that 13th, 14th position before our first pit stop, and then I just blew it. So I don't think we're fast enough to get points today. Again, I just think this track it does not suit our car.
Is coming in for his stop.
For whatever reason, Bahrain did, but Vietnam does not. And I think it's a combination of the long straightaways that expose our bad aero, and these tight, quick change of direction corners that also highlight our bad aero. So I think a track that's so aerodynamically dependent like this one is going to be tough for us. Bahrain, if you look at, I mean, you think back to Bahrain, long flowing corners, no sudden quick changes really. It's a straightaway and then a corner. It's a straightaway and then a corner. Straightaway and a corner. Here, have some of that straightaway in a corner, and then, but you have also low speed change of directions with some of these roundabouts. You also have quick change of direction, left, right, left, at the back end of the lap. So I don't think those sort of things really suit our car that well. So it's going to be a struggle for us. But again, that's the whole point of this playthrough. All right, we're not going to win a championship in year one. All right, we got to build this thing up
New strategy is available on the
and
MFD.
take our lumps, have our successes like we had last week at Bahrain, and have our failures like we're having here in Vietnam. But that's the fun of these types of playthroughs. That's what I'm so excited about, was not being the best, not even being close, and having to make decisions on how to grow the team, keep it profitable, but also go out and execute on the racetrack. So there's a lot to it, but that's why I love these types of series and what they've done in Formula One 2020 by bringing this mode in. So we're going to have races like this. We're going to have races where I make a mistake, the car just isn't very good, whatever, and we run like garbage. There's going to be races like that. Remember, this is a no flashback series. This is a hardcore series, man. So would have been easy for me to hit the flashback button and never have that damage or never run into Latifi, but that's not how we're doing this. Oh, boy. I cannot get into that right-hander, man. I just can't. Car just struggles to get into that right-hander. Thankfully, we were able to stop, not plow into the barrier. But we're going to come in, do another pit stop, get the nose chained out before I kill this car, because I can't keep driving it with a damaged nose. Like, I'm just going to go into the wall and cause more damage, so heck with it. Another nose, our second nose of the race. It's embarrassing.
Complete. Go now.
All right, let's run this thing out to the end now. We're going to have to deal with the leaders here a little bit. I mean, you can see just how slow we are. Even with fresh, soft tires, we can't even keep up with Vettel. So, yeah, we're just not there. That's fine. We'll get there. Maybe by the time next year's Vietnam Grand Prix rolls around, we'll have a more competitive car. I certainly hope so. But it was a big, big gap. Big gap between us And the next car up on the performance list, which I think was the two Alphas,
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Alfa Romeo and Alfa Tauri. So we have quite a ways just to catch them. But looking at the running order, our teammate's in 18th right now.
Gap to the car in front is 24.0 seconds.
So he's beating the two Williams. Not beating the Haas cars, which I would have hoped that we could. And I was beating the Haas cars. I know that much. Correa, not able to do it. Uh-oh.
Blue
Shit.
flag, blue flag.
Don't hit me. Damn it. This car is just so unsettled. It is terribly unsettled. This is not a very fun car to drive around this racetrack. I'll tell you that. Not very fun to drive around here. Yeah, this is a challenge. It just it lacks so much traction, and you got to have traction to get out of these corners and to get into these corners. It is not working for us.
Blue flag.
Oh, thankfully only a few laps left. This has been a disaster of a Grand Prix. Disaster. But you know what? Australia wasn't very good either, and look how we bounced back from Australia. Finished 8th at Bahrain, so we've bounced back before.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
We will have to bounce back pretty strongly in the next race. These kind of races are not fun. But we're going to suffer through them, you know? We're going to suffer through them. That's what it takes. And that's going to make us enjoy the triumphs even more. We think back to these bad races. When we finally get, you know, look how excited I was after Bahrain. Getting points, man. It was like a win for us. It was only 8th, but it felt good because of how badly we struggled at Australia. The next race will feel like this. If we can get back into the points again. Like an orange car behind us, McLaren. Don't know which one it is yet, but we'll get the blue flag here momentarily for them to go past us, I'm sure. And we should only have one lap
Blue
left.
flag, blue flag.
Lando. God, remember we were battling Lando for position at Bahrain? I remember. I just lapped us. Oh my God, it's just, it's so hard to control in that corner. It just wants to slide. You can't drive a race car like that. Not one of these. That just does not work. Poor thing. This poor car. We've got a lot of work to do on this poor thing. Makes me worry about like Monaco and other tracks like that coming up. There you go. Vettel wins. When he passed us, he was in second, so be curious to see who he beat and who he passed for the win, because that had to be pretty late in the race that he made that pass happen. I think it was Verstappen, actually. We'll see in the final running order, but mercifully for us, final time through the last set of corners, and this race will come to an end for us. Absolutely horrendous, disgusting race. 21st, second to last for us. Just an absolute disaster of a race. Lewis Hamilton, driver of the day. Good for him.
Here's our winner, pulling their Ferrari into Parc Ferme. What a fantastic race it was. What do you think it was, Ants, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Ferrari are at it again, an excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there. It's time to see how things are shaping up.
Shut
in
up.
the Constructors'
Yeah, he started 12th,
Championship.
finished third.
Ferrari take the
He's
lead
fine.
At the top of the table.
He'll be fine.
Meanwhile,
Thank you, Crofty. More importantly, the pink cars did not finish in the points today, so Racing Point did not finish in the points. They were the lone retirement. Haas didn't finish in the points. AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo. None of the people that were fighting, except for McLaren, finished in the points today. Lando got 6th, so they'll pull a little bit of a gap on us in points. And it's going to, I mean, I think it's a stretch to think we can compete with McLaren for constructors. I really think that's a stretch, but, you know, wasn't a good day. Our teammate finished in 18th after starting 19th. We finished 21st. Perez, again, the lone DNF. Had something go wrong. Don't know what it was, but we got lapped. We had to 3-stop it because I kept knocking the nose off of it. But, yeah, it seemed to be the 2-stop was what the top 5 did, and worked out to great effect for them.
Good day today.
No, it wasn't. What? Were you watching me?
You lost to your teammate today. Was it just not your day?
Oh, my. Claire, what are your qualifications? Huh? Where'd you go to journalism school? Who taught you what questions to ask? They handled the chassis beautifully. I need to learn how they did that. They got every last bit of power out of our... no comment.
Do you have any comments about the collisions?
What, with the wall? Yeah. My fault. No, I don't. No comment.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, we level up to 3 on Acclaim. That's good. That's a boost for sure. And we level up to 5 for our team Acclaim. So that's good. So even though the race was garbage, personally it was very, very good. We completed our sponsor goal again, so another $112,000 plus $60,000, but $40,000 in damage deductions. So could have been a better day, but yeah, I caused a lot of damage to the car. So sorry. Alrighty, well that will do it for Vietnam. A tough race for us, as expected, but I didn't help the cause whatsoever by hitting the wall a couple times, hitting Nicholas Latifi, having to replace the front wing twice. Just an all-around awful race for us. And no one to blame but myself. So got to do better next time out. It'll be the Chinese Grand Prix, a track that I like and a track that hopefully will suit our car better than the one here in Vietnam did. But that'll do it for today's episode. A tough one. Again, I hope that you can appreciate the pain that we went through today and hope for better days ahead. But let me know. Leave a thumbs up on the button, or on the video, rather. Use the thumbs up button. Been a long race. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this one as well. And we'll get after it next time at the Chinese Grand Prix. You know, I got to get better. The car's got to get better. It's a package deal, and we'll do exactly that. If you haven't hit the subscribe button already and you want to be notified the next time I upload, make sure you do that. I hope today is the day, even though it wasn't my best performance. Hope you appreciate what we're doing here and like the series so far. So if you could, do me a favor. The channel's been growing massively, and a huge thank you to all of you for that. If you want to connect with me, you can do so on Instagram or Twitter. It's at Schildhaus. You can also find me over on my Twitch page, live streaming as well. Twitch.tv/Schildhaus. Appreciate you watching this video. We will see you in the next one from China.